Why am I in confession? Okay. So maybe Lotaeri does like that sort of stuff. Hello everyone! Alright, in the last episode of Vampire the Masquerade-Bloodlines, what did we do? We got the manuscript that would have revealed if, well, technically it doesn't reveal if vampires exist or not. It's just that the idea of how vampires are hiding and that we exist in the shadows beneath people's notice might have been enough to get a few people looking at things in a different light if the movie that was created based on that script was very good and did very well. And so VV wanted us to retrieve that script and find and kill the collaborator who worked with David Hatter on it. Obviously, the person who was working on it with him was a kindred. We discovered that the collaborator was Julius, one of the Thin Bloods on the beach, and I couldn't bring myself to kill him. Poor guy. He just doesn't know what he's in for. So we put the fear of the Lord in him, the Lord being the Camarilla Law, and he promised to never talk to anyone about it again, and we told him to get the heck out of LA. And he did. I believe so. So good. I'm glad we didn't have to kill him. We then brought the manuscript back to VV, and we discovered there that VV wanted us to rip up the script, and that was a no-go from us as well. The reason why Velvet didn't want to do it is because she didn't want to destroy that man's work, his soul, that he was really pouring into that screenplay. And if Velvet says she couldn't do it, I don't know why she would assume we can. We're not playing Lotaeri like a monster either, and so we decided to not do so. I think we might have still given her the script. Yes, we did. Am I wearing my armor? Yes, I am. Okay. I came back here off screen, but I've changed my mind on the things I want to bring with me. I left behind originally our auto shotgun, but I am totally taking it with us. What's coming up is one of the more combat-oriented areas in the game. There's quite a few of these coming up, and I want that weapon. I think it'll be just too useful to have. Yep, so we're taking our spaz with us. I guess we could take a shotgun instead, but no, there's a reason for us not to use the artillery on the weaponry we've paid good money on. In the last episode, we also got the tape, the full tape, which showed what happened to the girl who entered that one house and was mauled to death by those horrific monsters. And it turns out that there wasn't really much more on it, other than she pulled up to a house, knocked on the door which opened, and she walked in. The doors shut and locked behind her, and then she was chased a little bit more throughout the house. So that was the beginning part that we missed, before she ended up in a bedroom with still more monsters in it that cornered her and ate her. And it turns out that although there wasn't really much more information there for us, Isaac Abrams noticed where that house was located. And since our task is to locate the Nosferatu, Isaac pointed out that he believes those creatures are perfect for running through the sewer system, hunting down and killing Nosferatu. And that was probably why they were created. He believes he calls it a fiend. I think it's a Zimichi. I can't pronounce how to say it. Who's a flesh crafter who is making those creatures. And that is why, a member of Sabat basically. And he is releasing them. And so our task is to go to that house and destroy that vampire and eliminate any faces we see running around. Isaac let me know that if I don't report back to him in like a week or so, that he'll take his own crew up there to put an end to this as well. But since we are doing a task for LaCroix, and since we're members of the Camarilla, I suppose he doesn't want to be seen helping the Camarilla, and thus he's not going to help us in a direct way. Finally, we tracked down that one mass murderer who was killing everyone, and he did it for revenge, which I can understand and feel really bad for him, and I might have let him go, but he decided that he was going to continue to do this, his superhero business, as he was calling it, in order to eliminate more bad guys. Can't have him do that, breaking the Masquerade, so we killed him. Now, at some point, by the way, in the last episode, we lost to humanity, probably when we killed the mass murderer. So at the moment, I have taken along our Tarlfang to make up for it. Alright, and let's go to the house, everyone.
Hop in.
I'm in. Now step on it. Old King's Way. Or 609 King's Way. Old King's Way? Let's try to avoid taking the front door into this place. And we'll talk briefly about what we know is here. It's got at least 2 floors to the facility, and we can see it's got 3. There's probably at least 5, closer to 8 or 10 of those running faces in here, and probably some hint as to what's creating them in this location. It was filled with flies, and it looked like there was warped flesh as a type of wallpaper. And we can hear the faces making sounds as well. We can hear some dripping liquid, and it's not the pool, and it hasn't rained here in some time. It's probably coming from inside the building. Once we're in there, it's probably going to be nothing but a fight. I don't think we're sneaking past these things. They're designed to hunt Nosferatu. Nosferatu are sneaky and have obfuscate. It's my belief these things can probably see us. If we were trying to be as stealthy as possible, it wouldn't matter. We don't have obfuscate, and they'd probably see us even if we did. The curtains, lights, bed, chairs are made of bone and flesh. shaped. They were probably people and may still actually feel. These things are upon us very quickly, so we'll stick with our sword here. We gained an artifact of some sort. We'll take a look at it in a bit after we clear these other rooms. All of them should be killed. Auspex will be useful here, letting us see at least a little bit further through walls and what have you. Good God, even the pillars are this way. That must have been a small one that he was working on creating. A single blood pack, and a blue blood pack. Fleshy ball. A weird and disgusting fleshy ball. I think we'll just leave that here. That's too gross for Lotaeri to use. Mummified fetish. Gazing upon this mummified fetish, you feel a rush of vitality to your undead flesh. Increases passive healing rate by 20%. This might be actually a really useful item. I don't care. That's disgusting, and there's no way we're taking it with Lotaeri.
Hello, young K-Knight. I see your face is not so lifeless. Your nerves not so deadened that you cannot express shock. Tell me, child, Is my appearance that frightening? Or is it my knowledge of you that is so unnerving?
What the hell is going on in here? This place is a madhouse.
O child of Cain, the sights in this haven pale in comparison to my ancestral estate. Comfort is a custom, and all of this artifice brings me closer to my home. Do not fear for my furniture, young one.
You're the one who made the tape, aren't you?
Oh yes, the tape. Merely a test. Certainly not intended to fall into mortal hands. Fortunately, we are in the capital of mortal trickery and illusion. So did the tape drive you to find me? From whence flows your longing, child?
It's disgusting. I want to know more, though. So we'll be a little polite with him in the hopes to get more information. I don't know, really. Oh my god. Look at the body in the upper left-hand corner. He's still moving. Poor guy. No. You know what? Seeing him move and possibly still be alive? No. This needs to end. This is awful. This torture. I'm longing to kick your ass. What the hell is this all about?
To gouge out the eyes of the Camarilla. The sewers are clogged with my creations. I will kill or drive the Nosferatu from their pestilent nests. Without the sewer rats to guide them, the Camarilla will be blind to the Sabbat's designs.
So you're one of those Sabbat assholes, and this is your plan?
It is not for me. It's for the will of the Sabbat. The Camarilla is stunted, dead and festering in the womb. Good only as pawns of the fathers. Even now, they answer the call of the Ancient and seek to free him from his torpor.
The Ancient. He's talking about the Arcaran sarcophagus, Lotaeri.
He slumbers within the Ankaran sarcophagus, one of the fathers whose return shall hearken the reckoning. Gehenna is at hand, and the Camarilla are unwittingly speeding us all toward our doom.
Maybe. Maybe not. What about these creatures? Did you make them?
Blessed creatures. I have broken through their mortal crust and drawn from them their greatest strength, mutability. I coax bone, weave flesh, and lay sinew tight until it strains to lash out.
Where did you get the raw materials for them?
Illegals, mongrels, half-bloods, and caitiff, the bane of society, kindred and kin. They are as of little consequence to authority as they are to me. It is a culling of sorts.
The machines you create are brutal, broken, and ugly. And they're really disgusting.
Perhaps, but they are exquisitely functional. Still, there's an uncanny elegance to even this, my most mercenary of designs.
It must have been a lot of work to create these machines.
Not too much for those of us able to give the gift of metamorphosis, young one. I know you have a cold appreciation for the aesthetic of my creations. I see awe and longing in your eyes.
Yeah, you see longing to kill you.
Now, Camarilla whelp, let me see you fight your nature in the face of those who have embraced their beast. Deny yourself Cain's gifts and be torn asunder by my minions.
Bring it on. Oh god, fire. You jerk. Go ahead and take a small break to have some blood. Yes! Not bad. All right, let's drink some more blood in celebration for what we just did. God, I hope they're dead. I can't. I can't cut them down. I don't think we can put bullets in them to kill them either. I think they're actually just here, supposed to be here for decoration. Alright. I don't see anything else in here that interests us. What's our next objective? You defeated the Zimichi in his lair at 609 King's Way and gained access to the sewers that will hopefully lead you to the Nosferatu. Now go and find them. You should also tell Isaac about this later. We also got 6 experience points. It's getting close to possibly another point in Auspex. But we'll hold on to this at the moment, and maybe... Oh, right! I want another point in appearance. I would love Seduction 8 before we get to the next hub. And we'll be leaving it there, I think. Alright, so we'll just hold on to it. So where did we go now? I think we found everything there is to find in the house. And if not, well, my inspection wasn't high enough to see what I might have missed. Just because we defeated him and rid the house of all the faces doesn't mean any that he's flooded into the sewer system are dead. And they don't necessarily need him in order to survive. I will totally stab this thing through this a bunch of times. It's gonna let me kill it. They're not smart, so I can realistically believe that it just stays here and roars at me, unable to reach me as I stab it with the sword. A Glock. Alright, well, we already had a Glock. Interesting. So we could have found one here if we didn't purchase one earlier. A clipboard and a poor dead guy. Oh, poor sewer worker. Remember, we read that some sewer workers had died or went missing in the sewer system. Now we know how that happened. Clipboard. This looks like the clipboard of an employee of the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, spring 2004, so this year. Monday 24th. Initial investigation into the reports of the strange sightings in the LA sewers started today. Entered Quadrant 13 and will move into both 14 and 15 later on in the afternoon. Quadrant 13 seems normal. Tuesday 25th. Quadrant 13 checked out, but heard unidentified noises at various points in both Quadrants 14 and 15. Called the dispatch to confirm that no other inspectors were working in the area. There were none. Coordinates noted. Investigation to 16 tomorrow. Wednesday 26th. Strange noises, undoubtedly some sort of animal, heard again in Quadrant 16. I saw what might have been an animal at the intersection of corridors 63A and 64B, but could find nothing upon further investigation. There were strange prints in the mud on the edge of the corridor, almost hand-like, though it was difficult to make them out in the darkness. Tuesday 27th. More prints found in corridor 73D. They disappeared to what looked like an entrance into an older part of the sewers. Called dispatch to see if they had blueprints of the old sewer section, but they didn't. Requested advice on how to proceed, and dispatch told me to continue with caution tomorrow. Friday, 28th, 8 a.m. Began investigation of the older part of the sewers this morning. Saw again what I believe to be an animal, although I don't know exactly how to classify it. The skin seems bare, almost reptilian. I can hear it constantly, almost as if it is following me, although it echoes down here. The echoes down here make it impossible to gauge distance. An hour and 15 minutes later. Can't seem to raise dispatch on the radio, so unable to check in. There is a smell that has become more and more pronounced as I travel further into the old sewers. Undoubtedly the carcass of an animal washed down here in the last big rain. Investigations continue. The same day, 11:31 a.m., so about 2 hours, 15 minutes later. Found the source of the smell. It looks to be human remains. Immediately called dispatch, was unable to reach them. The body seems to be that of a transient, but there are tears, massive tears in the flesh that indicate an animal may have recently fed on the corpse. I have noted the coordinates of the body, and I'm returning immediately to report my findings. 2 hours later. I have become temporarily lost in the old tunnels, and repeated attempts to reach dispatch have ended in failure. The animal sounds I heard before have begun to approach again, and I fear I may be being hunted. As a precaution, I have unholstered my weapon. About 4 hours later. Undoubtedly lost. I may have traveled deeper into the old sewers. Something is following me. I know it. Can't reach dispatch. Battery's running out in my flashlight. God help me! Saw a creature. Some sort of monstrosity. Teeth and blood. Can't get out. No more light. Can't reach anyone. Please. Oh God. What is... The writing trails off, splattered with what looks to be blood. Storm drain. Doesn't help us at all, though. Hey everyone, sorry about the awkward cut. So, when playing games, sometimes my computer minimizes the game. I think it's because of other things going on in the background at the time. But when it happens to Vampire the Masquerade-Bloodlines, I can't Alt-Tab to get the game back. It won't render. And so I have to cut the recording, and then basically quick save, and then reload it into the game again. So sorry about that. When it happens, you'll notice awkward cuts, and I'll just let you guys know when it does happen. This area is sealed off. What do we know about the sewer system? Only that the Nosferatu are somewhere down here, and they're not likely to have been easily discovered, so they're going to be deep in the sewers, and probably in an area that's not easily accessible to normal kind at all. That's it. That's all I can think of. We don't know anything else about this area. We've seen that there was at least one face. I somehow doubt that what the guy was writing about was one of these creatures. I think it was something different. Oh, which reminds me, by the way. We could probably take... Oh, could I? I think we could take time here to reload. We're probably actually done with that weapon. Unless there's anything, like, really large in here. But what are the odds that they put something down here that would be rather huge and give away... Well, not give away, but be like a actually terrifying monster. I mean, these things are already pretty terrifying. Darn it. That one had the correct angle and I did not. Let's see. I don't know. Alright, hold on, let me rephrase. I can't remember if there's really anything in here worth exploring for. And I don't know if Lotaeri would want to do that anyway. I don't think he would. He would want to get through this area as fast as possible to find a Nosferatu. Although, well, I see doors. Difficulty 5 lockpick. Some Glock rounds. Some Mac 10 and 9mm rounds. We can't hold on to anything else. And some 12-gauge shotgun shells for our spaz. Looks like we're using this for a bit, or otherwise we're leaving behind some ammo. LA Sun. City Hall cover-up. Haunted sewers bricked over. Bodies never found. That might have been the Nosferatu doing that. A ledger. What does this have in it? This looks to be a weekly log of the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, 1972. March 3rd, 1972. I'd love to be able to talk like one of those old-time reporters, but I don't think I can do that. Reports concerning the recent hauntings in the sewer system have prompted the mayor to request a weekly log of all operations in the lower sewer sections, 453 through 500. Log begins today. Nothing to note, although I will say that I find the stories to be unsubstantiated and ridiculous. March 10th, 72, and a week later. Both investigative... Oh, this is a news report, Tim. This is just a journal entry log. Both investigative teams this week reported nothing of note, although one individual, who may be apt to nip at the flask more often than not, noted that he heard what he could only describe as whispers in one of his sweeps along Section 476. Undoubtedly, these were the product of an overactive and thoroughly soused imagination. A week later, nothing to report. Operations normal. A week after that, so almost 1 month. Things have been hectic with the recent rash of sightings in sections 498 and 499. Although mostly described as shadowy figures, the reports come from men whose word I trust. Discounting usual stories about underground societies of displaced vagrants and rabid blind pets, I am at a loss to explain these observations. I will join the team tomorrow to see for myself what is going on down there. A week later. So, April 1st. I have traveled with the team down into the section in question, and I must admit that I saw and heard things that I could not explain. More than once I heard the same whispers as described before, that I chased what I thought was to be a figure down a corridor only to turn the corner and find myself facing a brick wall. What looked to be an older section of the sewers that had been sealed up. There was no one in sight, although I could have sworn I heard laughter echoing in the darkness around me. I will be forced to report my findings to the mayor himself on Friday. A week later. The mayor has sworn us all to silence concerning these new sightings, but has promised us an answer concerning a course of action within the week. Inquiries about the previous Los Angeles Department of Works and Power records and reports have met with strange resistance. It seems they have been sealed off for official reasons. Something is amiss down here. The Nosferatu are probably limiting these people. Right, like Dimitri and his creatures didn't exist 20 years ago down here. Unless this was a long-time plan that he had put into effect, but I doubt that would be the case. Nosferatu would absolutely have noticed some of these things down here earlier. And probably Nosferatu or the Camarilla do not want people down in these sewer systems looking for these things. These things being the Nosferatu. A week after that, so mid-April, we received word from the mayor today that sections 475 through 500 will be sealed off permanently, that no further inquiry to the matter will be tolerated. I have a few connections at the front office, and it seems that something like this has happened before. It's something that the city council doesn't want to become public. My contact said he couldn't say any more, and that if I said anything to anyone, he would deny any knowledge whatsoever. The end of April. The sewer sections close tomorrow, and the city engineers have bricked up the corridors that lead to them. This office falls within section 482, so it will be closed as well. As no one has requested the ledgers, all materials and records concerning this will be left down here to rot with the ghosts. Sorry about that, but as no official eyes will ever see this, I figured I could wax dramatic on the last day. Log closed. JR Auto Parts, 1972. That's pretty awesome that they have this here, representing what was in the ledger. Speaking of the ledger, we won't need this, I don't think, any longer. Here's a map of the current sewer system. Oh, and it looks like someone busted out. And I think this leads us back to downtown. Let's see. If it does, though, we'll just turn around and go right back in. A point of a sewer system that was probably locked off from us earlier. And that's it. Okay. The warrens here that we're in will give us several opportunities to surface in case we want to go and get supplies or more blood. I think there's like well, I say plenty of times, but I think it's like one more time. Maybe two more times. If there's anything else down here, I don't see it. Okay, this weapon is really inefficient at fighting those. Really inefficient. Okay, so I wanted to try it. It's got a huge spread, so I wasn't expecting it, but we can only land like one bullet on it, and then it rolls away in defense. not very effective at actually hitting me when they do their leap. They're probably all just instinct when it comes to attacking people. Hello. What the heck? ShrekNet. Shortcut. The password is password is required to enter the subdirectory. Difficulty 5. We can get that if we use Auspex. Sesame. Unlock. Interesting. I wonder if that was added so that you don't have to do the entire sewer system. I think we'll take it, but let me explore this area a little more first. I wonder where it takes me to. I don't have a good memory of the sewer system, but I know there's some monsters in here that we won't see anywhere else. Let's take it. Let's see where it takes us. If it skips the entirety of the Warrens, I don't know. There's some pretty interesting battles here, but let's take this. Well, that's definitely not something normal, and probably not a Nosferatu, despite how ugly it looks. Oh, poor Doomsday cultist died down here. Well, let's begin killing this thing. Not sure what we unlocked, but it was probably important. I'll give this a Nosferatu. It's creepy to get to them, as it should be. I'm assuming you're stuffing this. Yeah, good, okay. See, I'm assuming you're stuffing it behind me. Yes! Not bad. Take it, demon. That was a pretty monstrous creature as well. Holy crap. It looked like something out of Diablo 2. Oh! 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 Oh, my face! Oh, my face! My face! Oh! Oh! Oh, my face! Oh! Oh! Oh, thank God we're an undead and that will just heal. Oh, Lotaeri. As Jack said, ho ho, look at those potholes. They'll clean up soon enough. I think you fall down to this area originally? Oh, hello, wait, what's this? Just jump, and you will land near our shore, for when you want to sneak inside without good old Gary noticing you. Mitnick. P.S. I hope you didn't get hurt too much by the bug stopper I set up. Mitnick, you jerk! I totally did. This is interesting. So, I'm not sure if I like it or not. I think I do. They added a bunch of ways for you to circumvent the Warren system here. The Warrens was really long, and some sections of it are rather aggravating to do. They require very precise timing to get through them. Oh, and it looks like we have to indeed jump. So we'll do so. Some of the cleanest, clearest, probably most delicious tasting water to be found. And I don't like that they changed the music to this area either. So I will be back, everyone. Alright, better. Nothing but the howling wind through the caves at the moment. Something that they've done in this game, besides, am I really stuck? No, okay. They've changed the music for a great many sections of the game, adding in bits that were unused. That I think the music designer had made, but wasn't included in the game. And so they tried to find uses for it, but I don't like it wherever they've added it. It ruins the feeling of these areas. And I can't walk here, I guess, because I'm getting stuck on everything. Really annoying. They added, a lot of it is these guitar tunes. And it just removes you from the creepiness of the area that you're in, or how unsettling it's supposed to be. And I haven't liked it, aside from the graveyard, which I think is the only one where it still fit the theme. the guitar just ruins everything. It removes you from how unnerving it should be. This occurred at the house we were just at, actually, as well. When I zoned into it, I immediately heard a nice, relaxing guitar tune, and I'm like, no, this is stupid. You know what's here. It should unnerve you. What the heck is happening? You know, normally I would edit this out, but I'm gonna keep it on screen. Okay, so we have an excuse, I guess, as to why Lotaeri's running. Because otherwise, we just get stuck on invisible terrain. Okay. So I guess we'll run this way. You're kidding me! Okay, thank God. Okay, we got past that. The VIP room sounds like where we're supposed to go. We are a very important person after all. Nosferatu aren't known for their good looks. Thus, it probably translates into anything else that they do. They probably don't care very much about the condition of the place they're living in. Or at least these ones certainly don't seem to do so. That can't be blood. It's gotta be toxic, though, and will probably hurt us if we step into it. Nice. Very nice. Stolen a sign from Lucky Star Motel at one point. Looks like some poor vampire fool didn't make it. So the Nosferatu already know we're here, and they've been watching me for the past few minutes. If they didn't want me here, we would already be killed, or we would have been engaged in a combat already with them. Very scenic. Very scenic. I like this place. I like this place. Lotaeri probably doesn't care for it all that much. I can only imagine the fumes from this would make your eyes water, probably burn out your sinuses. On that note, we probably should run. And quick save every few seconds, because we're getting stuck on everything every few seconds. That's a shame. Alright, no walking to appreciate the amazingness of the Nosferatu area. I think this is the haven you're given if you are a Nosferatu. Because they will totally take you in. Oh, my ears! What the heck? Ah!
Wow. Oh, you did not just try and run a trace on me. Alright. Take that. Oh, yeah. I hope you backed up that server tonight. Boss is gonna be real pissed when his mom starts getting love letters from porn sites.
Hello?
What? Oh, yeah, hold on a sec. Oh my God, are you kidding me? What are you using for security down there at Trash 80? Guys, it's called encryption. This is too easy. I'd let you off the hook, but stupidity always brings out the asshole in me.
Hey there.
All right, yeah. Just 1 minute. No, nothing to worry about. Just a harmless email. Not a self-replicating embedded virus or anything. Wow, you really opened it. I can't believe you just opened it. What kind of a freaking idiot just opens it?
I know people who just open it. I don't know what to say. They're not thinking and they're not very bright. Maybe I'll just come back later.
What? Oh, yeah, sorry. The name's Mitnick. I'm in charge of computer systems, network, security, that kind of thing. You're the new kid, right? LaCroix's boy. Surprised you actually made it down here.
Hey, he looks like he doesn't really look that bad for a Nosferatu. Just looks like a normal bald guy. He's got big ears. But lots of people have big ears. Me too. Tell me a little bit more about yourself.
Me? Like I said, I'm the resident tech head. Keep this place wired to the outside world. Gary wants me to keep it close on the street, and at the same time, I'm supposed to be upgrading the network.
ShrekNet. Upgrading what? What were you going to say?
Nothing. Forget about it. Like I said, just some network stuff.
Yeah, right. So what do you have to do?
I'm trying to add a few more network hubs in the city so we're covered in case of emergency. But Gary doesn't want anyone leaving until this whole thing with LaCroix blows over. Which basically leaves my freaking cheese hanging in the wind.
Maybe I can help you out.
Yeah, you do that? Man, that would really help me out. I could hook you up along the way, make it worth your while. I got access to all kinds of goodies.
I'm in. What do I need to do?
I need a little time to set things up. Technical details. I'll send an email to your haven and tell you what needs to be done. That's all you need to know for now.
Cool. Thank you, Mitnick. By the way, how'd you end up down here?
Me? Before all this, I was a hacker. Good one, too. There wasn't a system I couldn't crack. Telcos, DOD, you name it. One time, I emailed the president all the nuclear missile activation codes. And the FBI was shitting their pants. Well, one day I ran across this system. Oh, totally dark. Unbelievable security. I fried 3 laptops trying to bust it. I worked on it for months. Didn't sleep much at all. I'd almost given up, but I caught a lucky break one night and finally broke in.
Ah, I guess I could guess what it was. The Vampire Network. Is that right, Mitnick?
It was, Nosferatu database. Not even a really important one either. Which was probably the only reason I cracked it. I dug around for a while, got totally freaked out, and I unplugged. 2 hours later, guess who shows up at my door? Gary. And voila, here I am.
Man. I'm not going to insult him. He doesn't sound like he minds being a Nosferatu. So how's on life since then, Mitnick?
Are you kidding? I love this shit. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna win any beauty contests, but I wasn't too good looking before anyway. Now I get all the cool new toys, plus I just happen to get to live forever. Not a bad deal, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's a good, upbeat way to look at it. Thanks, Mitnick. A few more questions for you?
Go ahead.
I'm looking for Gary.
Yeah, he knows why you're here. LaCroix must be pissed. But I hope you're not here looking for some payback. LaCroix knows better than to mess with Gary, sheriff or no sheriff.
I'm just here to talk. Where can I find him?
His room is just down the hall. You'll probably find him there. Or maybe he'll find you.
All right, I'll go find him. See you, Mitnick. Remember, LaCroix says he wanted Gary found. Not killed, not threatened, not yelled at. Found. And we'll do that in the next episode, because we've been playing for like an hour, everyone. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. This is actually really quick. I like the massive shortcut they put into this area of the game, and I feel like hacking 5 is probably achievable for just about everyone. We got 2 points in hacking because of the book we read twice. And our 1 point we put in wits plus 1 point in auspex was enough to do it for us. And it saved us about, honestly, an hour, everyone. We would have had a whole nother episode clambering through those sewers. We could still go back and do that if we want to clear them all out for some reason. I think there might even be a quest to save a Nosferatu that's in the sewer system that we might have missed. I seem to remember doing that a long time ago, but I can't remember if that's a thing or if I'm just getting confused. In any case, we'll meet the other Nosferatu in the next episode. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you then. Take care, everyone.